Yo, what's going on YouTube, man? What's happening, man? You guys already know who it is, man. It's your boy, Sports Guard TV, where we talk sports like religion. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. Share the content, jump in the comments. Let's get it cracking. Yeah, so week one in the preseason in the National Football League, it is completed. And I just wanted to give a quick rundown, man. You guys know how I do. This is the NFL season. It's almost here, man. It's almost underway. I cover football, I cover basketball, and I cover boxing. Obviously, the Denver Nuggets won the NBA Finals, right? Obviously, we had mega fights, and we have another mega fight coming up in boxing September 30th, right? Okay, but we also, this is America's game, America's choice, which is the NFL. And it's no secret on who my team is, who my mob is. My mob is the Washington Redskins. No, my mob is the Washington football team. No, my mob is the Washington Commanders. And they took command the other day in Cleveland, Ohio, versus the Cleveland Browns. And I must say, I was impressed with what I saw with the Washington Commanders. Here's why. Eric Bieniemy, everybody knows that he is now the OC here in DC. Okay, leaving Super Bowl champion Andy Reid and the MVP of the league and Patrick Mahomes. Man, he is now here in DC to sprinkle his own seasoning in Washington, DC, adding a new flavor to the mumbo sauce that we're known for here in the nation's capital. Well, I must say I was impressed with Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett and the offense in general. Sam Howell, I can see that they was getting the ball out of his hands pretty fast. He did take a sack in the process on one drive, but the first few drives kind of stalled. You know, they were backed up in their own territory, kind of poor field position and this, that, and the third. But what I saw from Sam Howell, this is actually going to be his first full year as a starter. He has been named the starter here in the nation's capital, and Eric Bieniemy was letting him throw the ball around. And I can honestly say that he looked really poised. He looked clean and crisp with his decision making. The ball had a lot of velocity on it when he made throws. And hey, man, he threw a heck of a touchdown pass to Jahan Dotson, man, who's a freak and I believe is going to be a star in this league. Jumped up, made a catch, and split two defenders and walked into the end zone. On the flip side, like I say, Sam Howell, man, he went 9 for 12. He had 77 yards and a touchdown. Like I said, he did give up a sack. But on the flip side, man, you had Deshaun Watson, because you got to keep in mind Deshaun Watson had missed 11 games last year due to his suspension that he had, and all his legal issues. So he was out of football for quite a while on top of that 11 games. But I mean, he only went 3 for 3 for 12 yards. But the thing is with Deshaun Watson is that his mobility looked like it's back. He looked really sharp, with his decision making. And Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he finished with 9 for 10 for 102 yards and a touchdown pass. And Kellen Mond, he did pretty well as well. He tossed a touchdown pass. But I was impressed also with the defense, the Washington Commanders defense. They held Cleveland inside of the 4 straight downs. And Emmanuel Forbes, I'm telling you guys right now, this guy's going to be a star. We all know that he's a ball hawk. He's a slim guy. You had people complaining about his size, but you got to remember he played in the SEC, one of the toughest, if not the toughest conference in college football, when you got the powerhouses like Alabama and Tennessee and Florida and just, you know how the SEC rolls, man. And for him to be able to be in that conference and perform the way he did, to me, it's really not that big of a difference. And he made a heck of a play on 3rd and goal rolling up and getting a nice tackle to stop, make a stop, And they also had joint practices today with the Baltimore Ravens, and whom they play next. But Emmanuel Forbes is getting real physical at camp. He's been locking people down. He was strapping up OBJ. And like I say, man, you can't make too much of the preseason, but for right now, for a good start for the Washington Commanders. Now, I just want to give you guys a rundown on some scores around the National Football League. So the Texans ran away 20-9 versus the Patriots. Now, number 2 pick in the draft, the number 2 overall pick, C.J. Stroud, he struggled in his debut. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. He struggled really bad in his debut, but that's what you can expect from a rookie. All is well. The Patriots just didn't have enough, and the Texans got the victory. Now, the Patriots just signed Ezekiel Elliott from the Dallas Cowboys to bolster that offense. It's going to be really interesting to see how Coach Belichick uses Ezekiel Elliott in that offense. The Vikings and the Seahawks topped off 24-13 over the Vikings. Drew Lock looked really good. Even though he's been on the roster for more than a year, he hasn't even taken a snap. Geno Smith, shout out to Geno Smith at the quarterback. But the Seahawks and Drew Lock look really sharp in their first preseason action. Now, speaking of the Minnesota Vikings, Dalvin Cook is now signed with the New York Jets. So he's back there with Breece Hall and company. They got a stacked backfield. You already know they got Aaron Rodgers. The Jets, I mean, it seems like they are in Super Bowl mode. The Super Bowl or bust. I mean, anytime you give away so much capital for a caliber quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, and then you add Dalvin Cook, and then you have the defense that you do have, man. Hey, man. It's kind of like no excuses. They had a solid team last year, so I expect big things from the New York Jets. The Packers smashed the Bengals 36-19. Jordan Love, first-year starter, like I said, the ghost of Aaron Rodgers. He's been behind Aaron Rodgers for many years, man. He's learned a lot of tricks to the trade, to the game, learning from one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Now it's his time to shine in Cheese Land, and he definitely looked good. And the backup, Sean Clifford, also looked good. And the Bengals, of course, wasn't playing on starters, man. You can't make too much of these preseason games, but what you can make too much of is to see the draft picks that got drafted in this year's draft, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, or even undrafted and unproven players in the league get an opportunity to shine in front of the world, to put film on tape for coaches all around the National Football League. If they don't make the practice squad or make the original squad, at least they can get good film and footage on tape for scouts across the league, and that is the goal when you're talking preseason, okay? The Giants and the Lions escaped with a 21-16 win over them. The Falcons and the Falcons smashed the Dolphins 19-3. The Steelers looked really good, 27-17 over the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield is another quarterback that's coming from the shadows of a legend. Tom Brady retired, so now it's Baker's Mayfield team. And Baker looked pretty good, and it looks like he may win that quarterback competition. But for the Steelers, man, I mean, Kenny Pickett is now another quarterback who's stepping from the shadows of a legend in Pittsburgh, whom is Ben Roethlisberger. He looked fairly decent, 6 for 7, a touchdown pass. Mason Rudolph even stepped up, 7 for 12 for 132 and a touchdown. Mitch Trubisky, 1 for 4 in a pick, man. What's going on with Mitch Trubisky? Who knows? But the Steelers overall look fairly good in their debut. The Broncos against the Cardinals, the Cardinals squeaked out a victory, 18-17. The Colts and Bills, the Bills won 23-6-19. Now, my college quarterback or my college favorite team is Florida Gators. Those that know me know that. Anthony Richardson, who has gotten drafted by the Indianapolis Colts, made a start, and he didn't look too good, but at the same time, they gave him a vote of confidence by naming him the day one starter for the Indianapolis Colts. So I'm sure that has to take pressure off the young man. Now he can focus and they can game plan around his skill set and things of that nature. The Titans and the Bears, man, the Bears look really good. Fields, man, Justin Fields threw touchdowns, 2 touchdown passes in that contest, real quick, a screen pass or wide receiver screen, and got taken to the house. They look really good. The Jets smashed the Panthers 27-0. The number 1 overall pick in the draft, Bryce Young, did not fare well. He was only limited to 21 yards passing, but he didn't play nothing but a series or 2. But at the same time, you can expect that from a rookie quarterback in preseason. That's why you play these preseason games to try to fine-tune your offense, fine-tune your philosophy and things that you want to actually run during the season. The Jaguars beat the Cowboys 28-23. Ridley, man, he's going to be a problem. He's back having a full year off, getting suspended from gambling. He looked really sharp. Route running looked crisp. Speed is still there. The Jaguars are going to be a team to look out for. The Eagles and the Ravens, good game. Ravens still continue the longest winning streak in preseason, period. It's over 20-something games they haven't lost in preseason in a few years. They just be taking care of business in preseason. The Chargers and the Rams. The Chargers smashed the Rams 34-17. The Chiefs lost to the Saints 26-24, and the Raiders stomped the 49ers 34-7. Man, it's your boy Sports God TV, where we talk sports like religion. Hit that like and subscribe button. Share the content. Jump in the comments. Let's get it cracking. And I'm out. Till the next time.